arhn.eu.
In 1996, Bandai, a Japanese toy-making company, released a device which forever changed our way of thinking about toys and technology. The Tamagotchi, as it was called, would soon become one of the most recognizable icons of the 1990s. All the cool kids had one, everybody else wanted one. Hidden inside a plastic egg-like shell on a tiny monochrome LCD screen lives your very own virtual pet. Just like a real animal, it requires your attention. Using a built-in speaker, it will alert you of its needs, and thanks to a set of buttons, you can cater to them as you would with a real-life puppy. The idea was genius. The kids loved it, because not only was it like an animal, well, almost, it had a screen, buttons, and could be carried in one's pocket. You know, like a console, but really tiny. The parents loved it, as Tamagotchis taught all the important lessons about responsibility without the inconvenience of smell, noise, fur, and dogs vomiting on the carpet. Basically, you could have this here. It was a win-win scenario for the busy family of the late 20th century, so it's no wonder that to date it sold over 76 million units. And that number doesn't include any of the Chinese ripoffs that flooded the market soon after. How popular was it? There was Tamagotchi merchandise, Tamagotchi video games, well, at least there wasn't a Tamagotchi anime, right? Only there was. And movies too. Not only that, the band Squeezer released a horrible song about the toy in 1997. Today we concentrate on some of the original Bandai Tamagotchis, but don't worry, the copycats will get their turn as well. This is the original 1997 model. It's pretty small and comes in a see-through shell. The left-hand side button is used to scroll through the menus, which you can see on the top and the bottom of the screen. The middle button is used to confirm the function of your choice and also the options within that function. For example, when feeding you can choose between a meal and a snack. The third button basically cancels any action. When you turn on your Tamagotchi for the first time, you have to set the time and date in order for the pet to have normal active and inactive periods, which translates to will sleep at night. When that's done, an egg is displayed, and depending on version you have to wait from 1 minute up to 1 whole day for the egg to hatch. When the waiting is over, ta-da! You get your baby dot blob thingy floating or crawling on the screen. It will, or at least it should, grow with time and a bit of virtual love. The first couple of hours are extremely demanding. Your baby will need food and attention every couple of minutes, and it will let you know about these by beeping. You can view your pet needs by scrolling to the scale icon, choosing it, and then scrolling again to the hunger and happiness meters. The growth of your pet depends on your ability to keep these meters full. As mentioned before, you can feed your pet with a meal, which fills up the hunger meter nicely, or give it a snack, which will make the happiness meter go up but also make your pet gain weight. Next up is the light switch, which you use only when your pet goes to sleep. The play tool starts a game where your goal is to guess which way your pet is going to turn its head. It makes your pet happy and helps it lose some weight if you overfed it. The game is very random and hard when the pet is still a baby, and even more annoyingly, it's not enough for you to play it, you have to win it in order for the happiness meter to go up. It is pretty time consuming and gets old pretty fast. The injection function is used when your pet gets sick, represented by a skull icon on the screen. This usually happens when you leave your pet for an extended period of time without taking care of it. Don't do that, please. Next up, there's the ducky function, which is basically cleaning poo your pet left all over the screen. There is also the discipline button, which is not too obvious for us because the first version doesn't really show too many signs of being naughty, or we're just too good at taking care of it. As simple as this toy is, it actually makes you grow fond and feel responsible for this little pixel-formed animal, and you feel very satisfied when it grows in one of the good or nice forms. Version 2 Tamagotchi, also called Tamagotchi Connection, was released in 2004. Some of its features have been changed, it is clearly bigger and has a nicer, higher resolution display. The scales option is now the first item in the menu, which is a lot more convenient. Most of the main features stayed the same. Some of the animations have been improved. The Turn the Head game has been replaced with 2 games. The first one is Dancing, a simplified version of Simon Says, which requires the player to remember the combination of buttons shown by the Tamagotchi and repeat it. The second one is an obstacle course. These games are a bit more fun, require more attention when playing. This version also gives you the option to praise your Tamagotchi when it's being good, and this time you can clearly see when it's being a moody son of a... It will sometimes beep even if it does not need anything or get angry without a reason. A little spunking puts its mood back on track though. As the name suggests, this one offers you the ability to connect with other Tamagotchis, become friends, and even transfer items and get married. Unfortunately, we don't have any compatible Tamas to show off interacting with this one, but we've got something better. This version, released only in Japan, sold only in sets of 2, is the Ultimate Connection Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi is designed solely for the purpose of creating a relationship and starting a Tamagotchi family. They look extremely cute, and the black stylish box makes it ideal as a romantic gift. Unlike other versions, you get a choice of different characters to take care of. Females on the pink one and males on the black one. There is no egg hatching or baby stage. There is also no menu and no options, just the relationship status bars. Your characters will just do things at random or take care of themselves when the left button is pushed. They are quite self-centered actually. Only when the side buttons are pressed, the 2 characters connect and give each other a kiss. When the button is pushed and the couple is not together, they will just end up shouting without response. As time passes and the relationship develops, the characters can get married and eventually have small Tamagotchis. I can see these being perfect for young teenagers who don't see each other every day, or even for busy married couples. It's a very weird and at the same time cute electronic set of wedding rings that only demands of people to own them and be together as much as possible. Gee, you can tell this was written by a woman, can't you? Happy couples like that kind of stuff, right? Let's move on. This one is the latest 2009 European release. It's called Tamagotchi Connection version 6 Music Star, and it follows the recent fashion of music games. On top of that, it also gives you the ability to develop your character online. The graphics are again much more detailed and in general better. As you can probably imagine, most of the functions of this version are related to music, practicing and developing the character's skill. At this point, it seems out of place to call this one a pet, unless you are used to seeing cats playing keyboards. Silly idea. Your screen will always display the character and 2 items. One of them is a toy, the other an instrument. The first item on the menu are the stats for both yourself and the band you play with. On top of the original stats of weight, age, happiness and hunger, we also have new ones: stress, tone, rhythm and original. These are a measure of your music skills and are raised by playing the new music-centric minigames. In order to become a good musician, your character will also practice playing its instrument, if you know what I mean. Musical instrument, that is. This is something it will usually do whenever it does not need any attention. Unfortunately, practicing raises the stress level of your Tamagotchi. To keep it relaxed, you can let it play with the toy item displayed on the screen. Praising, punishing, practicing and playing options are available as the first selection of the bottom menu. The whole system of feeding, getting food and paying for it has become far more complicated since the 90s version as well. While your Tamagotchi is a baby, you feed it with the default foods, the baby food and milk. As your character grows, it is no longer able to tackle hunger with these. It needs products from the shop. These you have to pay for with special points. You earn them by playing the built-in and online games. These include a visit to a cake bakery, reordering fruit on a conveyor belt, and last but not least, a simple Guitar Hero clone. You can also earn cash by giving concerts, and sometimes at random you'll get them from the Tamagotchi King when his servants visit you. The food shop itself will restock every couple of hours with different items, so it's a good idea to stock up with cheap foods. To access any of these features, you select the door icon. It will also lit up when someone wants to visit you or if there's a special event you need to attend. At the start of your career, it also helps you find band members to play with. The treasure chest icon holds the items you own and also items which can be transferred to friends. Again, we do not own more versions compatible to show you how it works in this one. It is however still possible to get married and create Tama babies. The most revolutionary feature though is the online connectivity available to all Tamagotchi connection models from version 3 up. After creating your login and password, with your parents' permission of course, you can enter the wonderful world of Tamagotchi. You get your own Tamagotchi apartment, which you can furnish with any items you got or purchased. You can explore all areas of the map, buy items in stores, talk to other users, make friends, write messages, play games, record CDs, vote for other users' music, enter competitions, and experience points, and more. Some of the online games can actually be quite tricky, even for an adult. All of them earn you your Tama points, which you can later spend on a musical instrument or toy, which then can be sent to your Tamagotchi to play with. While online, you can also view your stats and improve your online level by playing more minigames. To register for the page, you don't even need a Tamagotchi of your own and can choose to play with a placeholder character instead. This one has definitely a lot of functions to offer and will keep you busy at least until you work out what to do or how to activate what, etc. It keeps you occupied much longer than the 90s version and seems to be more resistant to death due to lack of attention than the other ones were. It is also more satisfying to know that the character is doing something even when you're not developing its skills. It will always either play an instrument or occupy itself with a toy. As you can see, Tamagotchis went a long way since the 1990s. New models are still released yearly, with the latest one, tama-go, out in fall 2010. And surprisingly, while they're not the must-have toys they used to be, they still have a dedicated fan base. Join us next time for part 2, where we'll take a look at some of the knockoff virtual pet toys. Until then, enjoy your time on Tamagotchi Planet!